Hello, parents and teachers. With the increase of technology usage around the world, we've all at some point used the World Wide Web to do some form of research that has possibly sparked our attention, or we ourselves were students in search of finding key information for a project or an assignment. Parents, has there ever been a time where you had to assist your child in finding information by using the World Wide Web? Teachers, have you ever had to Well, parents and teachers, if you answered yes to this question, then this process in teaching your child or your student how to look at information on the web with a critical eye is called information literacy. Now, you might ask yourself, well, what is informational literacy and how do I teach this to a child or a student? Well, informational literacy is the ability to articulate information, the ability to identify, locate, and access appropriate sources of information, the ability to effectively use information resources, and finally, the ability to critically apply the information and determine if it is accurate. Well, in order for a child or student to be proficient in surfing the web, they need to know a few strategies and tips on how to become little experts themselves at critically evaluating a website, because having these skills will help them to become more knowledgeable researchers. Tip number 1, who wrote the web page? And is he or she an expert at this information? Well, this is a tip that you can teach your child or your students. Tip number 2, what is the purpose of this website? Well, you can teach your child or your student how to find this information out by looking at the clues like the titles and the headings or the images that are shown. Even in the web address, there's sometimes clues to the information on the web page. Tip number 3, when was the website created? You want to teach your student or your child to look at the date and the year on the web page. This helps us to understand whether or not the information is current and up to date. And this is very important. Tip number 4, how well does the website work? Teach your child or your student how to decipher whether the web page is loading quickly or slowly. Teach them to look at the images and listen to the audio. Are they clear to read and hear? Is it easy to navigate on the page? So, the question at hand is, how can these tips be applied to a lesson? Researching and writing a biographical essay is a prime example of where all of these tips would need to be used. You would want your student or your child to use websites that provide a clear understanding of who the author is, up-to-date information, and purposeful information that can be used for their research. Hooray! Now you are an official information literacy expert.